Hey guys, welcome back to World of Warships. Today we're taking a look at the Marlborough. This was an old Dockyard ship that I forgot even existed. So why are we playing it today? Well, Malta told me that this ship got some buffs that I wasn't aware of. The Citadel got lowered, they buffed the dispersion. And if you know about this ship, you'll know none of that is actually true. I possibly was tricked into playing this ship by Malta. Yet we still had a wonderful time, so we're going to play it a little bit today. I was surprised at how well this ship performed, especially now that I've looked at the stats, and they haven't actually changed that much. They did buff the Sigma slightly a very, very long time ago now, so that doesn't really count. Yet we're going to perform incredibly well. This Dockyard ship has 16 guns at tier 9 on a battleship. They are 356 though, so very low caliber. And the other thing is the dispersion is quite bad. 1.45 Sigma is abysmal, near the lowest you can even get in the entire game. So we're not expecting very accurate salvos. Yet somehow we Citadel a Baltimore that is completely angled to us. I suppose it doesn't matter what the stats say if you just get lucky. The ship also has terrible armor. The Citadel is maybe the largest Citadel in the entire game. When we look at the armor, I will show you that, but it is gigantic. And I was operating under the false information, thank you Malta, that this ship had a waterline Citadel now. So look at me confidently charging around this corner. Nobody would ever expect that out of a Marlborough. So we actually catch someone off guard. Broadside Harlem, 16 guns, and smash. Look at that, 27,000 damage. One Citadel, and take out his engine as well. There's a Palmer in here, which is terrifying. Now that I know what this ship has, 32 millimeters of armor everywhere. If he's taken IFHE on those secondaries, terrifying. Full penning us everywhere. And the turret angles, the dreaded turret angles. Whenever we're looking at some of these ships with a lot of guns, we got to talk about the turret angles here. 42 degrees forward, 47 degrees backwards. We're very exposed, as well as having, again, one of the largest Citadels in the entire game. Ignorance is bliss, though, so we're making it work. Amagi here in the back line. We do have to be wary. Got to angle to this guy, but we're going to push for this island. These guns have low pen, though, so we do have to get quite close to use the AP. It is mostly an HE spammer. If you've seen it in game, you've probably seen the HE power of this thing, and most people would shoot HE from relatively far away. Not this game. Second game, I will show you that a little bit more, and the HE is definitely very powerful here. But we're pushing in. The Palmer, unfortunately, shoots at Malta, not at me, even though I'm broadside on at 3 kilometers. But he's also very broadside. 16 guns, 35,500 damage, 12 full pens. Absolutely ridiculous. We're already at 100k damage. So even these ships, which on paper seem bad and ones that I would not normally play, you can have a great time in it. Maybe that's something I miss in this game. And that's really fun. I think that's a good thing. That these ships that may look bad on paper, or you see YouTube people like myself say that they're terrible, you shouldn't get them, they're not worth playing, you can still have fun with them. You know, don't take it too seriously. I think this is a good reminder for myself to not take it too seriously. Look at the stats and think it's just going to be a bad time all the time. We finish off the Palmer, and Malta dev strikes the Baltimore. Look at us just charging in here in the first 6 minutes, 7 minutes of the game. There's a carrier, doesn't matter, although he's not on our flank, fortunately, at least at this moment. We're pushing the enemy spawn, who cares? Let's just send it. This is almost never going to work, though. This is the 1 in 20, 30, 50 games that this even has a chance of working. Another double Citadel into the encounter. No dev strike, but 160,000 damage. Just fun, man, just fun. I really wish Wargaming would bring back some of these Dockyard ships. Sure, some of them are incredibly powerful, some of the best ships at their tier, things like Wisconsin, of course. But some of them are just kind of meme fun ships that also, I think, deserve to come back. Marlborough certainly fits that bill. and I really hope Wargaming figures out a way to bring them back. It really sucks that they are locked behind a one-time event, and that's it. I really wish they would do something about that. Maybe someone at Wargaming watching this video, I don't know, maybe write that down. That'd be a cool thing to bring back for people. Amagi goes behind the island, fortunately for us, because we're a little bit low at this point. Yes, taking a lot of hits to our superstructure. That is a large, not very well protected superstructure as well. But we do manage to finish off the carrier. 187,000 damage. So many citadels. I was not expecting this. Battleship dispersion, 1.45 Sigma. Maybe it's just all bait. Maybe all these hidden stats is just bait for people like me that like to look into these things, know the nitty-gritty about each ship they're playing, to play these ships and think they're bad, yet they work out. The shell velocity is a little bit low, though. You're going to notice that I'm not leading some of these ships quite enough. And yes, the dreaded Super Ships Tier 9 Matchmaker. It is rather common, so that first game being a Tier 9 top tier game is also quite fortunate. But we're going to shoot mostly the HE out of this ship. A lot of these British battleships at higher tiers, basically all of them except the Warspite, for example, love to shoot the HE. It's a very powerful ammo type. It's kind of the gimmick of these British battleships. So this is a buff that it received a very long time ago as well now, like a year ago. The HE damage went up to 5,500. So nice HE alpha can get upwards of 10,000 plus damage with that HE. Solid fire chance. It does lend itself to shooting the HE. Personally, I'm a bigger fan of these AP salvos, dev strikes, bit of a black ribbon enjoyer myself. So maybe I use that a little bit too much. But in a game like this, even I will be swapping to that high explosive where longer range gameplay, we do have to go for that. It does have very good concealment as well for a battleship at its tier. It's no Carl Johan, of course, but it's not too bad. Base being just under 15 kilometers, getting it down towards 12 kilometers. Nice and stealthy. Here we're going to use islands as best we can to our advantage. In these up tiers, we definitely need to be limiting who can shoot at us, even if we are relatively far away. We're angled. We're sort of in a pre-kited position, not gonna lie. We're playing safe at the moment. The ship also really does want to use rudder shift mod. I will show you the build a little bit later, but I did really find myself broadside a little too much. The reload is awesome, by the way, so allowing yourself to shift your rudder quicker means there's less time when you're shooting all of your guns that you're stuck broadside to people, especially now that I know that this Citadel is massive still. They did not change that at all. A 25-second reload base. If we take some of the reload upgrades, we get that towards 20 seconds, a little AR, even sub 20-second reload on 16 guns. That's pretty good, man. That's gotta be pretty good. So very pleasantly surprised here by what Marlborough accomplished. A little bit of ignorance is bliss, of course, when it comes to this ship. This is a really good example of a dockyard done well, I guess. A dockyard ship done well. It shouldn't just be a flat-out overpowered ship. I think a unique, different playstyle, maybe a very compromised playstyle, but unique and fun in the right situations is a good way to do these ships. My idea for bringing back these dockyard ships would be to have either all the dockyards available to purchase at any time, like it's just a list, much like the old campaigns that they haven't done in years now. But maybe it's like that, where there's a list of dockyards available. You can only maybe have one going at once. 30k on that Henry, by the way. It slaps people, man, when it's broadside. The AP's not too bad. Into cruisers. The pen is not quite enough for battleships, of course. But if they were constantly available, similar to the campaigns, but you could only have one active at once, and maybe they make it a $40, $50 buy-in, no time limit, and you can just slowly grind your way through the missions and get yourself a premium ship at the end. I think that'd be really cool. A lot of other games do that with some of their battle passes, some of their content. They're not timed events. They're just available there as a purchase whenever you want to start grinding through it. I think that would be a great way for Wargaming to bring back these ships and monetize them a little harder. Make them more expensive, right? Like Wargaming, make it more expensive, but remove the FOMO aspect. Remove that. And allow people to get into some of these older ships. Newer players, older players that missed a specific ship that they really wish they had. I think that'd be really, really awesome to look at coming through 2025. Or if not all the ships, maybe make it a rotating list of dockyards coming back. Make them available to purchase. Maybe change it once a month or once a quarter, the dockyard that's available. But save people's progress in between them or something. I don't know. Something that allows people to get back into these ships and removes that FOMO aspect where there's a time limit and all your progress is gone if you don't get through it in time. And you already bought the starter pack, so now you feel like you're going to miss out and you wasted money by not finishing the dockyards. So then you're incentivized to buy even more phases so you don't throw away or lose that money you initially purchased the starter packs with. I really don't like how they're monetized. I don't like that these ships seem to just never come back. I really want Wargaming to do something about that. That would be huge for the player base, especially going into its 10th year. There's a lot of dockyards at this point. A lot of ships that people just simply cannot get anymore. And it's not because they're overpowered. Some of them might be pretty strong, looking at Wisconsin, of course. But Marlborough here is not overpowered. I don't think anybody would be saying that. And yet, it's a very interesting ship that can be fun. Very heavy broadside with not the best dispersion. Gets punished massively with this huge citadel. 32 millimeters of armor. It's not very tanky at all. But sometimes you get those good games. 16 guns, it's a bit of that Leon effect at tier 7 where maybe it's not very accurate, but maybe you div a couple of them and hold your fire and salvo fire a bunch of people at the same time. Get 32 guns fired or even more at people. Stuff like that is fun. And I think having some of these ships locked behind one-time events sucks. And Wargaming could do a great thing next year. 10 years, man. 10 years this game has been out of and available. That's a long time. Maybe they should start to look at bringing some of this stuff back. I'm sure you guys all agree with me on that. Not very controversial take there, but I'm really trying to reinforce this. If anybody from Wargaming is listening, please, please, people would love to have these options back. Something to get them again. That's not based around FOMO time mechanics, please. Big HE salvos here into the Bourgogne. Our team's done a great job in this game to finish this one. I've certainly baited Malta here, but given how he baited me into playing this ship by telling me it was buffed in all sorts of ways, which it wasn't, maybe this is fair. Maybe this is fair. I sat behind the island. He was doing all the spotting, tanking, nearly died, while I just got to sit and peacefully farm. Maybe that's fair, Malta. Definitely go check out Malta if you haven't already. He's an awesome content creator for this game that you really should be watching his videos, streams, all very good content for World of Warships. If you're looking for more, definitely someone to check out. Game is over, 147,000 damage in this one against super ships in a ship that I would describe as compromised. I think that's the nicest way of putting it. I gotta show you this Citadel though, man. It's ridiculous, this Citadel. I want ships to have larger Citadels, but this might be a little too far. Yep, there it is. There it is. I probably should have checked the armor before playing it and just trusting Malta. We'll have to do that in the future. Untrustworthy Maltese Knight. Yet I had a good time, so maybe I should just blindly trust Malta. Maybe that's the way. 381 is not well protected at high tier, and it's just gigantic, man. Look at that. That is crazy. Absolutely wild to have a Citadel like that in the game. We do not see that these days. Not anymore. A lot of times it's waterline or even below, and the rest of it is 32. There's this little bit of like superstructure that's 50 millimeters for some reason. Makes no sense, but to me at least, I don't know much about ship design though, to be fair. But looks a little funny. I suppose it's a shot trap that can be penned. So yeah, not the greatest armor, but you get 80k HP. And of course, 16 guns with actually a pretty quick reload. 22 seconds before we get any adrenaline rush is solid. That dispersion though, especially with the Sigma, which is the tendency for the shells to go towards the center of your dispersion circle, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad on this one. So you got to get a little bit fortunate, a little bit of RNG on our side in this one, certainly in that first game. Using the rudder shift mod though gets us down to 13.4 seconds, which is really nice. 12.1 kilometer detect allows us to stay dark, hopefully, so that we don't get focused down. No super heal here, and notice I'm not greeting for super heavy AP. I was smart enough to not do that with this ship, although maybe that would have been a couple of dev strikes. We left people on a little bit low HP there a couple times, where maybe that extra little 7.5% would have given us a dev strike or two. But still, absolutely incredible that I had such a good time in it, given now what I know. There's the upgrades that I was using. Not that this is particularly useful for the vast majority of you that probably don't have this ship. I haven't really gone over a lot of Dockyard ships, past ships like this that people can't get anymore just because I don't know how valuable that is. Maybe let me know. Maybe we can go over some of these older Dockyard ships in 2025 coming up here. Coming up fast, actually. We're getting really close to the end of the year. So, actually, when is this coming out? Is it Christmas? It's probably near enough Christmas. So, Merry Christmas. Hope you're having a wonderful time with family, friends, whoever's around you. But that's going to do it for this Marlborough video. One last plea to Wargaming, though. Bring back these Dockyards, man. Please, please. Something like a campaigns tab, right? Like, imagine you could click on like Marlborough, Odin, Wisconsin, Puerto Rico. Like, imagine they were in a line like this and you just unlock them for maybe it's $40, maybe it's $50, maybe it's $60. Like, there's a lot of grind to it still, but don't have a time limit on the grind. Just have it available for people to access and they can decide, hey, I would like that ship. I'll start grinding towards it. I'm willing to pay the money to unlock it. And then you get into it, you get your mission phases, you progress through them, and then there's a ship right at the end. This was not the right example. Wait, which one did I want? Honorable Service? Is that the one? Yeah, see? Shinonome at the end. It's like the original Dockyard. They used to... I mean, this campaign is ancient, by the way. They definitely aren't doing these anymore. A free thing like this to go get a premium ship. But maybe they can monetize it, but don't have the FOMO thing. Bring it back, man. Bring it back. That'd be so nice. It'd be so nice. I think people would love that a lot, especially because some of these ships are very powerful, very unique, that people can't get access to anymore, which is quite sad. So thank you very much for watching and have a great rest of your day. Merry Christmas.